As we're going live, and we're live.
Hi, welcome to the StockinetteZombies. I'm Amy, also known as Janema.
And I'm Megan, also known as Just Run It, and this is episode 383.
Awesome.
And I've called it November Potpourri because I'm going to try to sneak in some favorite things. It's supposed to be a tips and tricks, but with some interesting work schedules. Again, this is a non-typical time for us to be recording, as well as just life happening. I was like, I don't want to wait another, half of a month to talk about my my Rhinebeck purchases. So that's coming. Just a heads up.
Yeah.
And I don't know if Amy, we were chatting about all things except what we were going to talk about before we started recording here. If you've got a random assortment of things that you want to talk about, but that this week is Halloween, which was fun. And then we also did Day of the Dead, where we celebrated via Zoom. And then I also have the Individualizing Medicine conference going on, which is kind of my day job. So it's like a perfect storm of lots of things going on. I was mentioning to Amy that my brain is full. We're talking about the exposome, which is like something like, I mean, genomics is part of, is in that world, but not something that I necessarily knew a lot about. And so my brain is full. And then I've been down at the Civic Center. And so my heart is full as well with all of the extroverting that I've been able to do. So
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's been really fun. Or fun and fast and great weather. It's just been an interesting week for sure.
Yeah. Did you have any favorite trick-or-treaters after the Day of the Dead? We had a little bit of a chat, our celebration, and I was mentioning that there was a girl that rang the doorbell. It was her and two other friends, and her parents were standing behind her, and she rang the doorbell. And before I even opened the door, I could hear her saying, "Happy Halloween, Happy Halloween." Like, I don't know if she was practicing or what, but she's very excited. And then I opened the door and she was like, "It's Halloween and I am Jasmine. Can you tell that I'm Jasmine?" Like, she just was like so excited about, like, I don't, again, maybe one of the first Halloweens that it really registered with her, right? It wasn't just like parents slapped me in a costume and I got to go door to door, or maybe it was literally her first Halloween, maybe coming from a different culture or whatever. But I was just like, yes, you are, and you are fabulous. So she was my favorite trick-or-treater.
Yeah, my favorites are usually the ones that are like knee high, right? Like just real little, but doing their own thing, right? Like they're bringing the bucket up, they're saying trick or treat. Their parents are saying, say thank you now.
Mhm.
So those are my favorites. But I will say that this year I felt like the preteen and teen crowd was really cool this year. I mean,
Mhm.
I don't know. Some years you get kids and they're just like candy and then they leave. They were just so polite. They, I don't know. It was a good group of kids this year. I just felt like, wow, they're just really, their manners were on point.
Mhm.
They,
Yeah, no, I didn't have anybody that was overtly, not that anybody's ever overtly rude, but like overtly not polite, I guess.
right,
There's
right.
a
Well, I
difference
mean,
in my mind.
well, there is. Like, I'm just remembering in past years that crowd was like grab and go, like ding dong, trick or treat, and then they just and they leave, right? Well, this one was like have a good evening, they were just
Mhm.
really polite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
it was
impressed.
warm here in Minnesota, like in the 60s after the sun went down. So yeah, I think we were kind of back to like pre-pandemic levels
Mhm.
of trick-or-treaters. We always tally. So
Yep. No, and I had to like really like, no, you can take more than one. I sure, I promise. Because we had miniatures and I
yeah,
felt like, well, one isn't enough. You can have more than one. So,
yeah, yeah. I had
but yeah,
one,
very,
again, a very polite teen slash preteen that grabbed one, and I was like, "Well, you can have more than one." And he's like, "Actually, now that I've taken that one," it was kind of like the little claw game, right? Like you could see the prize underneath the one that he took, and he's like, can I swap the one that I took for two of the, I can't even remember what candy it was. It was like, just take two of the candy that you want. Like, I don't want you to rifle through your bag and do a swap. So yeah, no returns. Just take more.
Yeah, no returns.
Yeah.
But yeah, not just really good group of kids this year. And yeah, like I
Yeah.
said, warm and felt like things picked up at like 8 or 9, right? Or we shut our light off at 9, but between 8 and 9 was way busier than it has been in the past, for sure.
See, yeah, I think being across from an elementary school, our busiest time was before 8. And then about like 8:30, I was like, nobody has come for quite some time. And Jeremy was like, well, we can turn the light off if you want. And I was like, or it doesn't hurt to leave it on, I guess. So, and then the only other story I have about Halloween is that Dexter was out, and he wasn't in costume, but he was out on his bike. And I guess, I don't know if teenagers were in a car or where they were, but he got an egg thrown at him. Yeah. So he came home and like rinsed off his hoodie and left it down in the laundry room. So I was like, are you sure you didn't do anything to like egg them on? But
Well, there's the not so polite teenagers.
there we go. There we go. Yeah. So, but yeah, okay. Well, it is November. So that means that we have the October self-striping, and I remembered to do it. Really fun. That came with my freckled whimsy that I got. This is inspired by Amok. I always want to say 3, 4, by, oh my goodness, why is the movie name completely left my brain? Can you remember?
Well, now that you're asking me, I'm like,
Everybody at home is screaming it.
oh yeah, I'm sure.
It's the 3 witches.
Hocus Pocus.
Hocus Pocus. Oh my goodness. Later, Megan is going to be super embarrassed. Current Megan is pretty embarrassed as well. But yes, I've got 8 stripe repeat Amok with this fun little purple mini. And then you can either choose, any logo item, but you as a winner have an exclusive, the craft along, the 2022 self-striping craft along logo that you can get on a bottle or a shirt or whatever. And the 2 winners, I can hold them up because I've got them on a piece of paper. Pat Looney Hiker and Kristen K. Drucker were the 2 names that I drew. And I think I can see Pat Looney Hiker out in the chat. She's watching us live. So congrats, Pat. Congrats, Pat. On your self-striping, reach out on whether or not you want the logo item or the Amok.
Okay. Yeah, no, congratulations to the winners. I feel like I wanted to get out on Instagram to advertise this a little bit more, and Reels are probably the better way to do that. I am not Instagram savvy, but I have to, like, I thought of an idea and now I got to work up the courage to actually do the idea. It involves dancing. I don't know about this.
Ooh, dancing.
Well, head, shoulders.
Okay. For the non-self-striping, I'm like, what kind of? Okay.
Well, I would mention both of them, but I don't know.
Yes,
it might just be me talking like I was in the last one, because I've had a week to work up the courage and it still hasn't happened.
Oh, but yes, thanks to everybody. I think again, the one that I drew for Pat was actually a Halloween self-striping sock that she did. So she's now got, if she grabs that as her choice, she's now replaced that with another one. But fun purples and kind of that minty color in there.
Yeah.
So
Really
yeah, super fun. But yes, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. We've had quite a few heads and shoulders, a little less nose or toes, not nose, and far less knees. But also remember that if you hit all 4 categories, that you can enter the all 4 categories one too. So there's actually 5 threads that you can head, shoulders, knees, toes, and I did all of them. So
yep. Yep.
Yeah.
No, I actually accomplished all of them. I'm wearing my knees today.
Woohoo!
So, and I did the Marley for shoulders, and I did a Musselburgh in worsted for head, and then yeah, I finished some socks for the toes, and yeah,
Were
it's a
these
really
finished
fun.
objects going to be in the reel?
Well, no,
Oh.
this one could be.
Should wear all of them, like head, shoulders.
It'd be a sweater
I
over a
guess,
sweater. I don't think.
yeah. But one's a cardigan, so you'd still be able to see one. Anyway, you could have a, sorry, now we're workshopping. You could have like a Mr. Rogers moment.
Yeah, I think it would have to be like a boxer's robe where you don't put your arms in because like
Mhm.
the sweater is a worsted weight and this is I just don't think
Wrap it around your waist, then it'll be even more knees, right?
oh, yeah, there you go.
Anyway, fun KAL going on there. And just a quick reminder that next weekend, we will, not this weekend, but the following weekend, we'll be talking with Park Williams. She's done a ton of fun, really recent like wardrobe additions. One for that was kind of Halloween. I can't remember the name of it, but it was a very cobwebby kind of cardigan, like pullover, almost like you were saying, a boxer's robe. And then she had a little cut, like a howdy kind of cowboy collar, as well as I've been wearing the heck out of my no sweatshirt. And yeah, super excited to chat with Park, and hope that everybody can join us there. And then I know you've got some ZK items that you can give a brief shout out to.
For giveaway? Or
Yep.
oh, okay.
Or that, you know, we're forming teams, right? So make sure
Oh,
that you
okay.
check your
I
inbox.
see.
And sorry, just put you on the spot there. Talk about ZK randomly, Amy.
Yeah, so again, we are giving away some goodies from last year to this year's entries. So if you are attending 2023 and you have registered, you will be in for those drawings. And that is for last year's goodie bag. Lots of great goodies. I have a reel out on IG with the things that you would be getting. And then we've been announcing our new marketplace. All of the invitations are out, and I plan to send an email soon. And so hopefully, yeah, go check them out. I'll get them out on
Yeah.
our website again. Lots of
In
things, lots of
addition
moving
to the
parts.
market vendors, we've got the designer showcase folks. So you can
Mhm.
fill out that form, and you've been announcing some of those, which has been super exciting. I know I've seen some excitement there. And then sign up to be in the KAL, right? And then
Yes.
you'll be sorted into a team.
Yes. Yep, we have the bulk of those have come in, but if you haven't signed up for a KL yet, or a craft along, I should say, it
Yeah.
is multi-craftual. You can weave, you can spin, you can crochet, you can knit. So please join us. It's a lot of fun. It's just a
Mhm.
simple Google form when you finish something that you started in the new year. And it's that leading right up to the retreat about a week before we close it down, just so that we can tally things and announce winners. But yeah, it's really fun. It's got themes, gets a lot of involvement. Yeah.
Challenges. And then, yeah, you can meet some folks before you and, you know, meet and friend and you know, not collaborate, what's the word that I'm looking for, like find people that you will be spending time with in June, as well as familiarize yourself with the designers and the yarns that you'll be able, the fibers and the fiber arts that you'll be able to partake in the market. So it really checks a lot of boxes. Make friends, craft things, learn more about all of the the fabulous, you know, use the things that you're going to be replacing in the market. And yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's a very low key craft along. Anything counts. It's just that there'll be bonuses and challenges if you choose to participate in those. So if you want to just knit what you were already planning on knitting and turn those in, you can. That is participation, and it's a lot of fun. But
you want to say that you're going to do that, but then get sucked into the challenges, you would be like me last year.
Yeah,
So
the challenges this year are going to be pretty, yeah, we're just going to do 3 major ones this year. We might have minor side challenges that aren't part of the knit along, but I need to talk through those before I announce them. Make sure I don't have any holes in my logic.
Absolutely.
But, yeah, that's all I had. I do have my little potpourri stuff here, so we could get started.
Yeah, no, I was going to mention Jeremy and I went on an adventure walk because it was so beautiful this weekend. And Amy, you and I have obviously toured the second floor there at the Hilton, but because Jeremy and I were randomly walking about and chatting, I was like, oh, let's see. The escalator was running, so we took the escalator up there and they were setting up. And it was a lot different when we went. It was like, oh, we might be here. And when I was showing him it was like, this is where we're gonna be. I don't know. It just kind of hit me in a different way. And I got excited about it all over again. And so, yeah, I'm excited. I hope everybody else is just as excited when they see the fabulousness that we've got booked for next year. So.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the atrium again. I mean, that part of it, it gets me excited every time. And yep, I plan to do a walkthrough here before the end of the year, just to take a look and make sure that layouts are good for everything I'm planning. So yeah, I'm excited.
I was not there in an official capacity. In fact, I probably could have gotten yelled. I think they were setting up for a Mayo event, so I maybe had like a if they stopped me, but didn't have my badge or anything on me. So yeah, I was sort of trespassing, but maybe that was part of the excitement as well. I'm not here officially, but woo, it's exciting. So
okay. Well, I mean, they left it open. So it's just you were lost and
I found myself in a place that I will be some other time next year. Yeah. All right. Potpourri.
Okay. So I don't know, for those of you who participated, our last speaker had mentioned, or the field book, right? It was beautiful illustrations.
Wild and Woolly. Yep. Sarah and Bonnie.
Yep. And then right at the end, Sarah had mentioned that Bonnie has another business.
Like this small little other thing, right?
Just a little thing called Archer and Olive. Have you heard of them?
Yeah.
Well, I personally am not really into bullet journaling, but they are huge. There are unboxing videos about them all over YouTube, and they have the most beautiful things. So I was enabled, and I thought for Potpourri, I would show you what I got in my enabling. So I went out there and explored their website, and they had kind of a we made too much section. So this is from summer this year. They had this cute little lemonade, and this is their 8x8 journal. I thought that sounded like a good size for doing doodles. So I made this my doodle book. So I doodled the cover page. And then I've just been doing a daily doodle. Right now it's mostly the day, like it's Saturday, it's Monday, and then just little doodles around what I was doing that day. So maybe share Monday, you have all the trick-or-treating and the pumpkins and black and orange here. But yeah, so that's my doodle book.
And you
And
were
then
fairly quickly enabled there, that or it got there pretty quickly. Was that like an immediate on that day?
not that day, but within a week
Okay.
of the thing. I think I perused the website more than once. But another thing that they have is they have a quarterly subscription thing. But the quarterly subscription had been in the We Made Too Much section. So it was at a reasonable, or not reasonable. I mean, they're all reasonable.
Discounted, yeah.
They were discounted more than they are when they're in the subscription. So the one I got was from March. And
Ooh.
so it got this like thing to hold all the things.
Mhm.
And they actually showed in one of the videos that these things are perfect for wine bottles. You can have 6 wine bottles and you're journaling in here.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
In case you've got, you need to, take a little pressure off and release some anxiety before you start journaling.
And then this is an A5 journal. I
Mhm.
haven't started this one yet, but it's a really pretty teal with that leaf on there.
Mhm.
And then I came with the markers
Ooh.
and some coloring pages.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. So just something you can color.
Mechanical.
Yep. And then let's see, some stickers and book markers.
Ooh, fun.
And so, and like a little notepad that comes with basically the paper that's in the notebook, and you can kind of tear it out, or not tear it out. It doesn't, it comes out
Perforated.
cleanly. You could remove pages and then put it in your larger notebook with the washi tape that they use.
Yeah. Oh, fun.
So all super coordinated and beautiful, and something that you can kind of hit the ground running if you're new to journaling. That's kind of
Mhm.
why I got it, is because I've journaled before, but just with pen and not all the extras, right? So I think that, to get started where you're kind of putting a little extra in, this
Kind
subscription
of
box was
like
kind of a
the
good idea.
intersection in the Venn diagram of like scrapbooking and journaling, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, and they have memory journals, like people, basically it's scrapbooking, but so you would washi tape in your pictures and from a particular day, or you could have like a field journal one, like where you pick up some flowers and you press them and put them into your books. And yeah, there were a million ideas out there, but including the ones that come directly from this website.
Mhm.
Anyway, all that to say that that was a really good deal. I believe that box on sale was $50.
Mhm.
And when you look at just one of these journals all by itself is $37. It was a really good deal.
Yeah.
And honestly, the quality is up there. So I am not disappointed with my purchase at all.
It's exciting.
Yeah. And then I guess another potpourri type of thing is that I've got a lot of subscriptions, and I know Megan and I had a conversation about subscriptions lately.
Yeah.
And I've been contemplating pausing or stopping my subscriptions just because it's just too much. It's another thing that comes into the house, and then I have to find a place for it. And then I have to like, oh, what am I going to use this for? Because it's subscription, it wasn't necessarily something I was planning or goes into a plan. So all that to say, then this lovely thing arrived at my doorstep. I got the Indigenous Collective, and this one is just gorgeous. This is their Recollect Worsted, and I haven't bought their Recollect Worsted yet, so it's just so much fun to be able to squish and try this
Remind me of the
base.
content of that base.
I think this one is Mountain Merino. So it's a black and white mountain merino and then dyed. I know that the Recollect Sport is, I think that one is Montana Rambouillet.
Okay.
But you know what? Don't quote me on that, because now I'm thinking, why would they have two different contents in something called
Yeah.
Recollect? But yeah, this is a really squishy base.
Lovely, lovely. And next to Skin Soft, I assume.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a merino, superwash merino that you would get. It still has that rustic feel to it, even though it is merino. So yes, very soft, but yeah, it's not an ethereal soft. It's a supportive soft.
I love how we how we characterize, yeah.
Yeah.
Superlatives. In the yearbook, it would be not the ethereal soft, it's the supportive soft.
I kind of see that the twist is really high, and then
yeah, and the depth of color is lovely. You can tell that there's, some darker and then more color got layered on in it, right?
Yeah. So again, it's a really it feels hardy for a merino, and light, right? It doesn't feel like if I were to get this in a superwash, right? It feels a little bit more like a worsted spun.
Excellent.
Okay, that's it. I know you have a lot of Rhinebeck purchases, so I
do, and I won't I'll kind of fly through them. So we did all of the things. I was doing a pretty good job. I feel like I fell down at Rhinebeck proper. And that was probably more of a factor. I don't know why it was a factor. I think maybe I was definitely more it was more about networking and seeing people. Oh, beautiful colors.
I got markers and I forgot to hold them up, but yeah, and it comes in this really nice box. All the boxes are really high quality. Anyway, I'm just putting it away. So
yeah. So I was making sure that I got to go see. Oh, and you know what? I forgot to grab my shirts. Anyway, at India Tangled and Woolen Folk and Cakapalooza, it was mostly distracted by the people. I was extroverting instead of buying yarn. So in my house, the gift that I got, I like to party, and by party I mean knit stuff, Rhinebeck 2022. So thanks to Beth for that. And then stuff started accumulating in it. One of the things that I really loved about Woolen Folk, which I didn't see the actual knitted sample, but on the back of their program is actually, so you can't see really the cross hatches very well, but it's a pattern that you could make this color work. Which is super cute. Somebody said that they had it there as a pillow, but you could put it on just about anything. I think you have to get to the actual pattern, you have to go to this Knitterino. There's a QR code there. But also at Cakapalooza, sorry, I pre-ordered, which was fun because it had my name on it. And a couple of people in my house were like, "You have yarn named after you?" Nope. Sam just had it all packaged up for me. But this is pumpkin spice cake. Just really
is one
pretty.
of those mine?
One of these is yours. Yes. So I think this would make a really pretty, obviously I'm in like Musselburgh mode, but I think it would make a really pretty Musselburgh. Some socks with a little bit of texture, or even like, an asymmetrical, boomerang type shawl. Just really love all of the component. Like these scream fall to me. And the pops of pink and brown. And these are, navy. It's just a lot of it's a very well crafted colorway. Let's just put it that way. So very, very pretty. And as you mentioned, one is yours. Yes, from the amazing Lavender Loom. Also at Rhinebeck, I got some self-striping. So Geektastic Fibers, they had a lot of themed, like Hocus Pocus colorways, other colorways. I randomly grabbed not their ones, but this one is Trapper Keepers and pencil boxes. So I really love that neon. I can imagine the Trapper Keeper cover with these colors in it, and then how that pops against this navy. So super, super excited about this one. Oh, I stuffed my little sticker in there that they gave me. But their little tagline is "With great yarn comes great responsibility," which I think is super fun. And then the other one I thought was, again, my colors, but also would make some really nice man socks, was Champ, which I think may have been their, was it an exclusive? I can't remember now. But something drew me into it. And then I was like, oh, I love all of those colors. So 2 self-striping came home with me from there. And then I had some at Woolen Folk. I went and saw Michelle of Woolens and Nosh and got distracted by her. But when I was in her booth, I picked this up, I put it back, I picked this up, I put it back. I did that an even number of times rather than an odd. And when we got back to the Rhinebeck house and people were showing off what they had bought, most of the house, especially the ZKN members, had bought it. And I was like, ah, so I had like immediate regrets. And I'm like, but I know Michelle. And I also know Earth Tones Girl, which is what this was in collaboration with. And so I reached out to both of them in person at Rhinebeck. And I was like, do you have any of those skeins left? Is this like some exclusive that I'm now not going to be able to get it? And Michelle very nicely invoiced me and sent it. And I had it within, like, the regrets dissipated and I had it within a couple of days. This is Falling in Love. And again, those component colors are just so pretty. But Woolens and Nosh on their Targhee base. So I need to start working up some of those, but she's coming to ZK next year. So double points. And then the Rhinebeck purchases. So immediately went to Peterbrook Farm. That's always been kind of my thing. I have not used last year's Peterbrook Farm. But Lynn and I want to make a pressed flowers cardigan. We're going to turn it into a pullover, a V-neck pullover, and picked out this green, which they made me feel really special when I got to the checkout, which there was a very long checkout line. No offense to them. I just think there were so many people that flocked there, just kind of knowing that they have this really fun kind of barber polling. And there's just more designs that are using that now, including, you know, what Lynn and I are going to make, the pressed flowers. And so I got to the checkout and they're like, ooh, good eye. This is the first time that this has been, you know, that we've made this specific color. And I'm like, well, green is my thing. So apparently I picked out and not a Rhinebeck exclusive, but it made its debut. And then as my contrast, as a solid, these are DK BFL, which again, if you know me, you know I love a good BFL. And yeah, so that's going to be a pressed flowers. I was calling it pressed pluses because they kind of look like little plus signs to me. And then Diane Suburban Stitcher is actually making like a pluses shawl that's similar. So these are actually going to be flowers and not pluses, and not that design. But they do kind of look like plus signs, and I do love math. So maybe it'll be my pressed flowers and pluses, flowers plus pluses. But yeah, super pretty. Super glad that Peterbrook Farm is doing so well. I was working on a sweater while I was, so I had my Muselburl that kind of went with me everywhere. And then when I went back to the house, I was working on a sweater and I was using one of my 8-ounce fingerings from CC's Wool, purple mystery. I think it was. And so I enabled myself into getting additional 8-ounce fingering, like yarn babies. And I wanted to have kind of a solid because that was what really worked well with my with the color work that I was working on. You know, a little tinge of gray there. And again, you're seeing it in a little more contrast than it actually is. But I think this will be a really nice mixer for some other color work, right? Like put a pop of anything against this and it's going to contrast. So, and this is the, looks like rain, looks like rain. And the booth was really interestingly set up. They had kind of like the colorways and then all of the bases in that colorway. Oop, it says my connection is unstable. Am I back?
Yeah, I think you're fine.
Okay.
It was just while you were holding it up. It was fine.
So you just got a extended look at it. And then, yeah, you could kind of be like, ooh, I want that one. And so this was one where it was like, ooh, I want that one. And they didn't have any. And I had to ask. And then they went and found it in some bins. But this is Flowers in the Meadow. And again, I think that not as much of a mixer, right? But it will definitely be, it would be very pretty on its own or against like a super dark color, right? And I was feeling questioned about my love of pink. Like other people were chatting about like on Wednesdays we knit pink and I was like, I knit pink sometimes. So I think that this one kind of jumped in. Making sure that my card carrying pinkness wasn't being questioned. I do love green, but I also obviously make some pink things. And then this was the last one in the Matter Root booth is always really busy. I use my like trundle bag a great deal that's in the pink. And then this was the last, you know, with the green trim and kind of the metallic, shiny metallic black hardware. And then of course it has kind of a botanical theme. So really enjoy kind of this heathered fabric that they have. It's really substantive, but also really soft. And I'm trying to remember what it's called. It probably doesn't say on here. But when I was there, I've always shown them that I'm carrying because it's just so great. Like you just, you know, flop it over and then you can attach it to the handle of whatever you're already working on, which helps it, or you're already carrying around, sorry, with your purse, but you also can carry it around and kind of work out of it in the, in its untrundled state. So yarn out there. So really love it. And again, the botanic theme as well as the green caught my eye. And then I believe this one is one that I wrote down and then came back and got. This is Fox Hill Farm. Very kind of typical, you know, more of a farm stand feel to their booth. And this is a Cormo cross from Massachusetts is their farm. Lee, Massachusetts is where their farm is at. And it's just like springy. And also just, I really, again, I think anything that I pair with this, like a green, a purple, a blue is going to, so I'm thinking color work of some sort. This would be the main, and then the color would really pop against it. So, yeah, super, super soft. Definitely was in a color work state of mind and wanting to mix things, really influenced by what I was working on my outcrop. So all things color work, and grabbed 3 skeins of this, 394 yards for 3.5 ounces. So a fingering ish. So yeah.
Very cool.
And that was
Yeah,
it.
I've been looking at that pressed flowers cardigan for a while. It's at the top of my list because I think that what I had picked out to go with the, oh, this is going to be kind of a tangent, but I know that it's a DK sweater, but the sport weight stuff that I've been getting, the fade, I think that I found a really beautiful blue that I think would go with a couple different pieces of that
Mhm.
fade. So I was thinking about doing a little math and making that cardigan in the fade with the flowers.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't think it would take, I mean, DK and sport are really close. So I don't think it would
Mhm.
take much. I mean, if you use the same needle size and you don't end up getting a fabric that you don't like, I think you'd probably be pretty close.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. A minor swatch is in order there. I don't like
Absolutely.
swatching, but if you're changing the gauge, probably should
Yeah.
swatch.
Yeah. So yeah, again, just all of that fit into my suitcase. I was a little worried about that. Pro tip, I was on Southwest, Shayna mentioned that you can literally check like a cardboard box that you've taped up.
Mm.
Was happy that I was not in that state. I did have my bag here that I was like, well, I can put this in an overhead bin, right?
Mhm.
If I need to. But it all fit in. So I didn't go that crazy. Although my credit card may beg to differ. Didn't
Honest,
feel too crazy. But yeah.
I mean, it didn't feel too crazy for what you had mentioned, what you were going to do with the items, like, and as prolific as a sweater maker you are, it seemed, I don't
I've
know, it
got
seemed
plans,
feasible.
whether or not those plans actually kick in. But yeah, multiple sweater quantities, right? Like the
Mhm.
only single ladies are the
Lavender
self-striping
loom.
and then the lavender loom that you and I both have one of. So
Yep.
mostly sweater plans.
Okay. Yeah. No, I have. I think we were button enabled recently, and you made
Yes,
me
that's
look at my
coming.
cardigan plans. So I
That's
have,
coming.
yeah, I have two cardigans. Yeah, and pressed flowers is on the top of that list. So uh,
Excellent.
I can't wait to see what you and Lynn make.
With the
Is
pullover.
Lynn done with
Yeah.
hers already? She knits so fast.
I saw a swatch. I saw a swatch. So she had some very beautiful feeder brook that she got at the same time that we were kind of like reaching in and grabbing skeins out and looking at.
You know, I
So
mean, Lynn made
it was kind of a
leggings
crazy
for her.
booth. Mhm.
Lynn made leggings for her knees. So, you know,
Yeah.
that
Yeah. There's that. There's that. Which I had to like point because everybody's looking at sweaters, right? As we were walking around at Rhinebeck. And I'm like, look at her leggings. She made them. And they're just so like chef's kiss that most people are like, no way did you make them. Even like people that had hand knit sweaters that have probably been like, well, that's a really backhanded compliment when people say, that looks store bought. But yet they were like, no way, you made those.
yeah,
So
no,
new
I've,
level, new achievement unlocked. Ding, ding, make
yeah,
people that know that they shouldn't say that, say that. Yeah.
yeah,
All
for
right.
sure.
Well, thanks for letting me jump the queue with my purchases. And it's been a good potpourri.
Yeah, no, for sure. Now I gotta come up with favorite things when we get there. But
Oh, there's more coming. There's more coming for me. So
yeah,
I'll have
no
no
worries, I'm
problems.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye, Ufta. All right.